get this game started so I can show y'all. We're going to call it United Platforms. If you don't know, United Platforms is the second channel that I have started, and I have me a team assembled. We are working on figuring out how we're going to do things still over there, but I guess this is a good time to give an update about it. But yeah, feel free to like and subscribe on my personal page, which is Mark King 35, and United Platforms is my second channel. Like I said, United Platforms, there's me and two other guys. So feel free to go over there and go check out the content that we're going to put up. Me and one guy, we play on PS4, and then another guy, he has a PS4, but he also plays on PC. So if you're a PC gamer, feel free to go over there and watch whatever he plays over there. Okay. Oh, we're on a random gen world too. So when you start a new game, you're going to get this message. You don't have to read it unless you want to. You have to go down here and clear it off. Over here in the, well, I can't get the cursor over there, but on the right side of the screen, you see something popped up. It says craft a bedroll. So this is normal. This is like the tutorial of the game, explaining how things work. And as you can see, we're in the snow biome. You don't want to really hang out here too long at the beginning because, you know, it's cold and you spawn in. I'll show you your character has no clothes on. This is what these slots are. This is just the character model for this DLC character I bought before Telltale went out of business. They put some DLC characters in. So you'll just come over here, gather plant fibers by holding R1 down or tapping it when you come over here. This is snowberries, so that's not grass. Okay, so we got enough plant fibers, so now we can craft a bedroll. So we come over here in the craft and start making that. And while that's crafting, you're going to just start picking up rocks and beating down little bushes. I'll show you like this right here. This is like a little tiny bush that's starting to grow. You get one piece of wood out of hitting it, or two sometimes. But this is the easiest way at first to get it, other than coming up here to a tree and start punching it until you get some wood out of it. Oh, good lord. Yeah, what is this? This looks like the wasteland. You do not want to go here, in my opinion. You don't go to the wasteland unless you have a mini bike and a shotgun, because dogs and cops are in that biome a lot. In the snow biome right here, this is rough too, because you have these zombies called the lumberjacks. They are really tough. So we're just looking around where we spawned in at so we can get feathers out of the nest and eggs. You can discard them at first. If you don't have a cooking pot, you have to find that. But we're just picking up rocks and grass and getting wood. Okay, so our bedroll, it shows you on the right side of the screen that it's been crafted. So now all we gotta do is put it in our tool belt, and we gotta lay it on the ground. So the way you can do it, you can either do it the hard way, which pick it up and drag it into your tool belt right down here, like that, or you can just push down on the camera stick, which is R3 on PlayStation, and it goes straight into my slot on my tool belt. So to change from your slots in your tool belt, you'll tap L1 and R1, and then you'll press L2 to lay it on the ground where you want, and then I just pick it right back up. So we're going to pick up some rocks still, okay, and this is why you keep moving your, earlier where you get grass and wood and stones, because now we can craft, as you can see on the right side where it says craft a stone axe, now we can immediately craft it. You can do this in a couple of ways. People, when I first started the game, they say you can craft a whole bunch of stone axes and it'll make your quality level go up. You can do that if you want, but it takes up a lot of time and energy and it wastes resources, in my opinion. So it's up to you what you want to do, or you can do that, or you can just use the stone axe on, start using it to build your level up on your construction tools. And if you when you do this, it'll also make the quality of your tools go up higher. So it is honestly whatever you want to do, but me personally, at this point in time, since I've been playing it a little bit longer, I'm not saying my way's better, but this is just how I do things at the beginning of the game, especially when you play on a harder difficulty. Because it takes a lot of time of standing there, crafting like 50 different stone axes and then scrapping the 50 stone axes down so you can get a little bit of your resources back. Like, I think it's 5 stones to make a stone axe, and if you scrap out 1 stone axe, you'll get 2 or 3 stone back out of your 5. So, like I said, it's up to you. If you want to make 100 different stone axes to make your level go up higher, or you can just start crafting them and using them as you go, which the stone axe is fixing to break, and I'll show you how to scrap that in a minute. There you go. So now it says it needs repairs. So what I do, if you have the stone in your inventory, it'll show you right here you can repair it, and right here it shows repair, and it shows what you need to repair that item. So we need small stone to fix it. You can either repair it if you want or scrap it. I always scrap it. And if I say anything that doesn't make sense to you, feel free to leave it in the comment section below, and I will go in greater detail explaining my thoughts to you and why I do things like I do. So since we got enough plant fibers, and we're going to go right here to the clothing icon, and now we're going to make the gloves. It wants us to make the hood, and this is the perfect thing since we're in the snow biome. The hood is good with cold weather, but if you're in the grasslands or the desert, you will want to make a hat later. Even though it shows you right here in the right side, it says you have to make a hood, you've got to make the hood. But if you're, like I said, in the desert biome or the grasslands, craft a hat right behind it. So then you can put that on. So we're going to craft this, and then once you craft these items, you come over here and we're going to start putting them on our character. Because that will be the next, which I'll show you, that will be the next thing it'll tell us to do is, okay, good job, now put the stuff on. See, yeah, the next mission it tells us to do is put the clothes on. So, like I said, you can put your clothes on 1 or 2 ways. My way is the easiest way. You go over to the item in the slot, press triangle on it, and then you push up on the D-pad, and it goes straight on your character. Or you tap R1, and it'll go to this character icon up here. And then what you'll have to do is grab your clothes, and then you have to find the specific slot. What is this anyways? Oh, that's my shoes. You have to find the specific slot, and then you have to put it in there. And we're going to put our bedroll down here. This land claim block, you can either scrap this out at the beginning if you want to get 150 iron right off the bat, or you can just keep it in your inventory, and when you get a forge, smelt that down, just like this raw iron. So since we have plenty of room in our inventory, we're going to leave it alone for the moment, okay? So, and a quick tip, these little rocks like this little boulder right here, You get stone out of it, and you get raw iron. So that's your raw iron. You get that and rocks out of this rock. But if you go for these huge rocks right here like these, you'll mainly only get stone. Very rarely you'll get raw iron. So if you need a specific resource, like I say, if you just need stone, get the big rocks. If you want iron for your raw iron for your forge, then look for these bad boys, these little ones, okay? Alright, so now since we got enough wood, we're going to make us our first weapon. And that's going to be the club. And if you want to know how you can change these little tabs on your crafting menu to a specific thing, you'll tab R2 to go to the right or L2 instead of using your cursor and coming over here. Just something that might make your life a little easier. And I'm going to let you know what else you can do to get your quality level up on your bow. People say the same thing, you know, like earlier about crafting a whole bunch of items to get your quality up on something. So they say the same thing with the bow. You can craft a bunch of bows and your quality will get better on it. You can do it that way, but it takes a lot more resources than, see, with the bow, it uses 12 pieces of wood and 3 plant fibers. And that's a lot of time wasted on getting plant fibers and wood. So you can do it that way if you want to, or you can do it another way. And that is getting a whole bunch, having a bunch of wood in your inventory, and air and stone and feathers, and you can craft a bunch of arrows. So at the moment, we here on the right side of the map, you see it right there. It says craft 2 arrows. We're going to craft as much as we can, and we're going to keep an eye out on bird's nest, so then we can get more feathers. And I apologize if it sounds a little confusing or there's a lot for you to take in. I know it's a lot of information. It's going to take you just a little bit of time to, you know, figure things out. But if you do have any questions, or if you have the game and you want to play, now you see in the bottom it says your skill in weaponsmithing is now level 2. Because my weaponsmithing is higher, now I will have a higher level bow than a level 1. So right now I'm following the road. Yeah, that's the lumberjack. He's in the snow biome. You don't want to mess with this bad boy at first. He is a hard guy to take down, so yeah, just keep on walking. But I would highly recommend, if you spawn in the biome of the desert at first, or the snow biome, well, any biome other than the forest, the green grasslands, whatever you want to call it. Get to the green grasslands as soon as you can, unless it's like right now it's noon. If you can't find the grasslands too quickly, it's good to have a backup plan. Like you can follow one of these dirt roads and see if it leads to a house. Yeah, we got a house here, but there's going to be zombies close to that house. So just a warning. Make sure you have your weapons ready to go. So before we go to that house, we're still looking for bird's nests. See if we can make as many arrows as we can, so we have a better quality bow. Oh god. Okay, so that is the wasteland still, so we're not going down that road. So it looks like since it's 12 o'clock, we're going to be hanging out, unfortunately, in the snow biome. I don't like doing it, but see, look straight ahead, where that rock close to where that other biome's at, those are the zombie dogs. Most of the time, they travel in packs. There's like a couple of them, like 2 or 3, but that one dog is going to cause you enough problems because those dogs are crazy. They are super quick. and they run in crazy little zigzag or diagonals sometimes. They're unpredictable on how they run. So that is why you try to avoid them unless you have a shotgun or you are very comfortable with your aiming skills. If you are not, get you a shotgun. That is my advice for everyone, especially if there's multiple dogs. So always try to avoid them unless you never miss a shot. Then you can use whatever you want. Okay, so I'm gonna get some more stone. Sometimes you can jump on these huge boulders and zombies will have a hard time getting up there to you. But if you do that, you want to make sure that they cannot get up there to you. If they can't, then you're going to be safe. So this is a safe way. Like I say, if you can find a big rock where they can't climb it easily, then you can sit here and get some stone and not be bothered. Okay, so we're going to make some more arrows, and then we're going to get that bow going, because we'll have close to about 100. And as you can see, we're safe, but it's from this lumberjack under us, because he can't get up here. But don't turn your back, and always be aware of what's going on around you. Right now, our weaponsmithing is level 3, and I'm going to show you, once the arrows get done crafting, what level the bow will be. And it's honestly just going to save you a lot of time and resources, in my opinion, because you'll have to run around and you'll have to get, instead of crafting like 100 different bows, you're going through 12 pieces of wood and 3 plant fibers to scrap out over and over again. Or you can just make a bunch of arrows and you're going to see how high that level is. See, he broke the rock, so now that lumberjack's trying to get up here. So that's why, if you do stand on the rock, you always be aware of what's going on around you, okay? It looks like the arrows stopped. If you can't tell yet, when you craft something, it's going to pop up in the bottom right of your screen. So we're going to make a bow. See, now we got a level 54 bow, and I didn't have to waste plant fibers. I wasted my time gathering plant fibers and all that trash. And then to put an arrow in your bow for you to use, you just tap circle. And if you have more later on in the game, once you get more arrows, you can hold circle down. And here's your 4 different arrow types. There's iron, steel, and the flame arrows. So since I'm playing on a harder difficulty, we're not going to fight that zombie. We're going to save these arrows to go take this house out. Okay. These tree stumps, you can loot these. They have different things. Sometimes you find ski goggles in them. Sometimes you find jars of honey. Sometimes you find food. Sometimes you find clothes. You never know what you're going to get. And you see what I did? I crouched right there, and it said after I put an arrow in that pig, it said sneak damage, and it took 1 shot for me to kill that pig. Right? That is why I play on a harder difficulty, because if you're playing on anything less than warrior difficulty, which is what I selected, if you remember, you have a harder time. Even if you have sneak damage, the animal will run away, and you have to chase that animal down, and sometimes you lose the animal in the process, okay? So that is why I always play on warrior difficulty. But if you're first starting the game out, I would suggest playing on one of the easier difficulties, just because it will be a lot easier for you killing zombies and get the hang of the game. But once you know what you're doing, and I would suggest bumping the difficulty up to the minimum of warrior. Like I say, because it makes the game harder, it makes the enemies harder to kill. And of course, since we're in the snow biome, we've got a lot of the harder zombies. We got 2 lumberjacks at least. We got Yeah, 2 lumberjacks beside the house, and we got some other enemies. Okay, and another reason why I craft the arrows is it will make your weaponsmithing go higher, so then you'll have higher level quality bows, but you will also have a higher wooden club. So you always scrap the first club out, and then you can make a new one, and it'll be a level higher, like it's a level 56. And there's another bad thing about being in the snow biome. Come on, bro. It went right through him, and that's the thing. It's a good game on console, it's fun, but the game is still buggy, as you can see. That arrow went right through his chest. So I can't wait for the console version to get updated, because it sucks. Okay, there's that. But there's one problem with being in the desert biome and the snow biome at the beginning of the game, especially because the problem is you have in the desert, as you imagine, it's hot in the desert, so it drains your water level faster than if you're in the grasslands. When you're in the winter biome, if I remember right, your food meter will be depleting quicker in the winter biome, in the cold biome. So, just a heads up, you gotta make sure you have plenty of food when you're staying here in the winter biome, and you gotta have plenty of water for the desert biome. Okay? So it's, as you see it in the, right under the compass, it says day 1. It shows what day it is and what time it is in the game. What I'm doing is I'm picking up the chairs right now, but where I was going with the time is at 2200. That is when zombies start running at night, if you did not turn that setting off in the custom settings. Oh, it's a crawler. I hate these stupid things. You gotta keep your distance from them. If you got arrows, I suggest use them because they got some crazy, insane reach. And they will do lots of damage to you, and they're a pain in the butt. So, okay, he's dead. So I suggest keeping your distance from those idiots. So since we had a lumberjack coming up, we're going to try to crouch and be undetected. The reason why I'm picking these chairs up, if y'all are wondering, is this is free wood. You don't have to work hard for it. All you have to do is pick it up and scrap it out in your backpack. Okay, the lumberjack senses us. He'll be up here in the stairs shortly, but I'm going to show you how I do things. And we also carry meat. You gotta be careful of raw meat. If you kill an animal, you have the meat in your inventory, and on the console versions, the zombies can smell meat on you. And this is why I pick up chairs. You see, I got 10 chairs in my inventory, and when you scrap it out, you get 75 pieces of wood. So, just a heads up. Oh, good God! Sorry, they come up the stairs quick sometimes. Okay. I missed. I thought he was going to sway a little further than what he was. Oh. Calm down. Stop coming at me, bro. My bow is fixing to break. So you gotta keep an eye on that. Okay, and then if you go for some extra stun damage, you can high crouch and sit beside them. But then once they get up, as you can see, they get up swinging. Out. So they get up swinging. So when they start getting up, you need to back off. Okay, we're gonna go this way. Oh, see, my bow is broke, so I couldn't get that shot off. So I gotta run back and craft me a bow real quick. Make sure you're good before you start going in your backpack. And you can scrap it by hitting right on the D-pad real quick. And then you can get a new bow going. Keep an eye on the zombie coming at you. There you go. And now you can put a new arrow in real quick. Okay. We're good so far? Okay, back up. See? Yeah, it's hard to predict them sometimes because they just walk so funny. But most of the time you can figure out what they're going to do. There we go. Okay, that is a nice find, an auger blade. I hardly ever find those stupid things. Okay, so it's 1900. So what we're going to do is we're going to do what we was starting earlier before that zombie came up. We're going to go upstairs, and you saw also, that's another thing, when the zombies are tougher, you see how many arrows and stuff I'm using and the ones that I'm missing. I had close to 100 arrows, and now I've got 5 arrows in my inventory. So it sucks. What the crap? I've never had that ladder fall and break on me like that. That is crazy. Well, fine. That's cool. We're going to get up there another way. Because you see in the missions right here, finally, it says I need to craft some wood frames. I got to place them down, and then you got to upgrade them. So, I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm trying to organize my tool belt, and I'll explain how I do it in a minute. But you'll go down here, wood frames. If you have a hard time finding something, here's a search bar, and you can type in what you want. Type in frame, wood frame, whatever, and it'll pop up anything and start narrowing the search down. So since you're probably going to use a lot of wood frames, you can go right here and add your favorites. Right? Well, I didn't do it. But yeah, you can go here, select the wood frame, and then you can either push right on the D-pad, or you can come right here and select it. It'll do the same thing. You see, it added a star right beside the wood frame. So later, if you favorite what the stuff that you want, you can just simply come to the favorite, this little star, click it, and like arrows, if I want to favorite that, I click this star right here, and it shows your stuff that you favorite. so it's easier for you to find. I would recommend starting off with maybe making 10 instead of 3, because you probably want to keep some with you. So for the meantime, since I don't really want to waste time trying to break these stairs down, so zombies won't come up here for the night, we're just going to break this post out so we can lay 2 frames, or we're going to lay 4 frames here, and we're going to do a little upgrade to them. And this is just going to block the zombies from coming up here, causing problems later in the night. The way you upgrade stuff, you'll look at the block, and then with your stone axe in your hand, or if you got lucky and find a wrench or something like that, or a hammer, you just hold L2 down, and it will upgrade blocks. Okay, so now we got the stuff to make the the campfire. But unfortunately, oh, I want to show you how to get up on the roof since that ladder broke. What you can do is you can lay these frames down and pick them back up so you can use it to pull yourself up. What I'm doing right there is I'm tapping X, and I have my wood frames in my hand, right? So what you do is when you jump in the air, once you see you've jumped as high as you can and you're fixing to fall down, you're going to tap L2 under you to place the wood frame, and you can pull yourself up like that. See what I'm talking about? Because I'm going to jump, and then when I say fall, that means I'm falling down. So fall. See that? You can see my character got up as high as he can, and he's fixing to fall down. So that will help you put those under you, and you can lift yourself up. So I came up here just to get this bird's nest. If you come across a house that is built like this, then that's what you can do is get up here and get that bird's nest, because it will be on every house built just like this. Okay, so I would recommend, if you break any glass, put at least a wood frame behind you or 2, so if they start hitting it, you can hear them coming. So now we're going to loot the house, see if we can find a cooking pot. Okay, so football helmets. These are nice to have. They protect you. They have armor. I mean, they add some protection to you, but you can later on, if you can't find a mining helmet, these football helmets you can turn into a mining helmet later. So just a heads up. Let's make some more arrows, and that will free up some space in our inventory. What we're going to do, because you see right here, honey is good for removing infection. So at first, especially if you get hit by zombies, if you come across honey, try not to eat it unless you absolutely have to stay alive, because you do not want to waste something good like this. So if you got canned foods, like I haven't ate my chili that you start out with, you can eat that. Or, like I said, we got some canned pasta, and we got some beef rations. We're going to eat the pasta first, because you can see right here, there's nothing bad about eating the pasta. It fills you up 9.7%. The beef and the chili, it takes away some of your hydration. And since we haven't found a cooking pot yet, we don't want our hydration to go down too bad. So we're going to eat this first. And we got some peas, and that's good for you too. It don't take away hydration. In our food, on the bottom left above the nose, it says 56%. That's a quick way to see what your food and water level is. So we're going to eat the peas, and it's stacking on these empty cans. Okay? So now our food's at 63, if you see that. But and zombies are fixing to run, so this is the part of the day where we're going to sit here, and we're not going to make too much noise. Okay? And we're just going to sit here in the corner and chill and craft stuff and get rid of some stuff that we don't need. Don't really pick up the human turds. Only time you will do it if you're going to plant a garden, you can grab grab this and it will turn into fertilizer in the chemistry station. So if you don't have a chemistry station, a chemistry station, and you don't plan on gardening, there's no need for grabbing crap, literally. So there you go, guys. So there's just a few things you can do. Really, you can go through your inventory at night and scrap out stuff like this empty can, these empty cans to clear some room up, these iron pipes. I usually try to keep those, but if it takes up too much inventory space, nothing wrong with scrapping it out because you'll find them easily. Here's a schematic for some iron boots, so we're going to read that. Oh, we didn't grab that helmet earlier. Yeah, it's still in here. But what I will suggest if you're on day one and it's not time, zombies can still smell this meat on you. So before you leave, if you don't plan on staying in that house, make it a permanent base, or if you want to build your own base, you know what I'm saying? And you're just here temporarily, put your meat in a storage container and don't forget to grab it when you leave the next morning. If you leave it, you'll have to go back and get it, but you'll put it in a locker so zombies, if they come by this house at night, they won't be able to smell me. And then if they smell me, then they'll detect me and they'll know I'm in here. And then they're going to try to tear this house apart and bust in here and try to kill me. So if it's nighttime, get the meat out of your inventory. And then in the morning, you can grab it and go, and leave. But I want to show you where to go to look at your food and your water and your character stats. So you can either come up here where the character icon is and click on that, or you can tap L1 and R1 to change through the tabs. So we're at the character screen, right? This is where all of your stats are at, show you how everything's going. It keeps up with your longest life, how many items you crafted, your miles you traveled, and deaths, kills. But these are your most important things right here. Here, my food level, it shows I'm at 57%, water's at 40, and my temperature, if you hit 45 degrees, that's when you start getting cold. So what it looks like once you complete these missions right here. I just want y'all to see it, y'all know what's going on. But normally, you just need to sit here and stay quiet. Don't go outside unless you know what you're doing. Then you gotta be extremely careful. But once you make the campfire, it's going to just say, hey, good job, boy. We see how capable you are, so you can come visit our traders. And then you hit continue. And then you can tap R1 to get to your map, and it will locate the nearest trader close to you. Like this is it right here. You see that little icon? Because we haven't laid icons down yet. So what I recommend is you'll find where the trader is on the map. You hit triangle when you put your cursor over it, and you're going to put a quick waypoint. No, not a quick waypoint. You're going to save waypoint. The reason why I'm putting an icon over this is once we come over here, the icon in this spot is going to disappear, okay? So if you don't put a waypoint, you're going to lose this trader unless you remember. Yeah, great memory, right? So we're going to put the same icon, or if you want to put a different one for traders, that's fine, but I always put this icon for traders. So I'll stack it there on top. Because like I said, once we go to our first trader, this icon is going to disappear, okay? And I'm going to remove that red flag. Okay. So you can do a few different things. It's up to you, but some people don't go to the trader at first, and they just roam around the map because, like I said, the trader that they mark is the trader that's closest to you. So, for example, since I'm here, this is the closest one. But if I wander over, let's say, this way of the map, right? If I go here, that trader way down there is not going to be close to me. And it may say, since I'm right here, maybe the closest trader is right here. So then it will change the marker to this is a close trader. So it's up to you, but some people will wander around the map, not go to the trader, because that's the last mission that you have to do. And they go around and find where all the traders are located at. And then once they mark all the traders, then that's when they go to the trader. Visit the trader because they know where all of them are at in the game. But if you don't care about that and you just want to go and buy stuff from a trader and sell stuff to him, then I would suggest you go to the trader. It's totally up to you. It's however you want to play. So just some quick little information. The reason why I know that Zombies was going to run at 2200 is that is when Zombies always run at nighttime, is at 2200. So that's why you want to make sure you're in a safe place by that time every single night, unless you're wanting to go out and fight zombies, So whatever you want to do. And that's when you want to sit here in the house, craft, eat food, um, uh, spend some skill points right here with the graduation cap. I think after you finish all of those, after you complete all the little tutorial stuff, and if you kill zombies like I did and everything, right here it shows I have 15 points available to spend. So as you can see, these are all the game skills and perks in the game right here. And as you can see, there's a lot of them. If you're looking for something specific, here's your specific tabs. Your firearms, your ammo that you can craft later. As you can see, these are grayed out and not white like this. These are locked. And if you want to see what you have to do to unlock a specific perk, you have to click on it, go right here and look, and it says, for you to be able to learn how to craft 44 Magnum rounds, you have to have your gunsmithing at 40. But for 9mm, you have to have gunsmithing at level 10. In this right here, this is my gunsmithing, the level 1. So that's how you can check that. Oh crap, I hit the wrong button. So R2 and L2 changes these little tabs. So now we're over here with the weapons. Here's your weapon options. Here's these, for your construction, for people that like playing as construction and base building. Here's your clothes and your armor levels. This is for the trader, for bartering and quality and treasure hunting in the game. There's treasures, so you can put points in this to make the radius smaller, easier to find treasure. These are pretty generic. Everyone should put points in. That I'm just going to tell you, these are all pretty important, but the ones that are 5, like these right here, you can only level up 5 times. These are important perks. I don't put points in athletics or medicine unless medicine. No, that's not medicine. So I don't put points in those. But the survivor perk, this one helps with your hunger, where you don't have to eat as often. The camel, that helps with your thirst, so you don't have to drink water as often. The health nut, it raises your wellness in this game, and you might be wondering what your wellness is. Wellness, think of it as your max health and your max stamina. So right now it's at 100. If you keep dying, then your wellness is going to drop under 100. But the longer you stay alive, the longer you eat better food, like bacon and eggs or stuff like that, like bacon and eggs and cooked meat, then it's going to raise your wellness up, and then your health and your stamina, I call it energy because I have a hard time saying that word, but it will go over 100 and it will max out at 200, I think, or 250 tops. So you can put it in here to help level up a little quicker your wellness as you keep playing, And then the sexual Tyrannosaurus, that helps with your energy. Like I said, I have a hard time saying that word sometimes. Where it regenerates faster. The more you level it up, the quicker it's going to regenerate. And then these are quick little things, Fixer makes things. Like it says, it reduces repair time. and how much materials are used and the amount of durability lost with each rank. So if you like repairing your items, then you can put points in the fixer. But when I first start the game out, I usually put some points in these right here, the survivor of the camel. So since we're in the what you call it? I'm gonna look at my character real quick. Yeah, see, my food's already down to 40 something, and it wasn't at like 55, and it's already dropped that quick. That's not normal. So if you're in the snow biome, you need to, if I can find it, you need to put your 10 points and suck it up, unfortunately. Put it in Survivor so you don't go through as much food. Normally, like even if I'm in the forest biome, or I would put my 10 points in the camel. That's just me. Because I'm tired of having to make my character drink so much water. But like I said, it's entirely up to you. But I would suggest, like I said, snow biome, put your 10 points in Survivor. Desert or forest, putting your camel perk. If you're in the burnt forest, then you should not be staying there. Or the wasteland, you need to be running for your life and trying to find the forest biome, or at the very minimum, the snow biome. Because those two biomes suck. You will die a lot, because especially at the beginning of the game, because you have low everything. You're just starting the game out, and you've got dogs running around, you got cops running around, and all these crazy zombies that are really tough, and you don't need to go over there unless you got really good weapons. And like I said, I refuse to go into the wasteland or the burnt forest unless I have a mini bike and I have good weapons like shotguns and all that crap. I refuse to go in there because it's so hard. There's so many dogs. Dogs will just swarm you and kill you before you can even kill them all. It's ridiculous. You'll get infected from them, and you'll get bleed out damage while they're still biting your legs off. So it's not fun. It's not fun. And that little music that you heard before I ended the clip right there, that was to notify you saying, hey, zombies have stopped running. Depending on the length of your daylight, if you have 16-hour days for the sun to be up, then your time for the sun to rise will be different. But I set my days for the sun to be up at 18-hour days. And that's in the settings, the mod settings you can change if you want. So I set it there because that means I can do more stuff during the daylight. And if you set it for 18-hour days, zombies run from 2200 to 4 a.m. Unless, like I said, if you want to play differently than that, then that's up to you. However you want to play your game. And I usually set my days for 2-hour days, especially if I'm playing by myself, because one person playing on a single game by themselves, it's a lot of work. You have to keep up your base, take care of your base, level your character up, take care of your character's needs, and try to level up and kill zombies and loot and all this crap. So I usually bump it up with 2 hours in real time to go for one entire day. In this game, you might be wondering what we're on. This is 1 hour in real time for one day to pass. So I hope this first day kind of answers your questions that you may have about the game. See what I think is important and you need to do. In my opinion, focus on doing. Like I said, just at first, until you find your permanent base or even a temporary base you may want to use, you can build you storage chests. I'll show you that. You can make storage chests. It only requires 10 wood, which you can see that right there. And it has a bunch of slots for you. You can lay it there. If you're playing with friends, though, you play your own storage chest, it will automatically be a locked chest. If you want your friend to be able to put their stuff in the same chest with you, what you have to do is hold triangle down, and then you can do a few different things. You can unlock this chest, okay? Or if you want to put a password on it, you can put a code on there. I've never done this before, but it's apparently you just set it. You set it like that. You can set that, and I guess you can hit confirm or okay. I don't know. Yeah. So if you want to set a code, you can set a code down, and then you can hit X if you want to confirm, or if you want to back out, hit circle. But that's how you unlock a chest and lock it in this game. So if it's locked, your friend can't put their stuff in there with you. If you want it to be, like I say, if you want it unlocked, you gotta unlock it for them. Only you can do that. Unless y'all don't mind, then y'all can have your own storage chest. That's fine too. And then you see how many slots there is in this little bitty chest, so you can just stick all this trash in there. We're gonna look at that duster. I haven't looked at that before. We don't need a football helmet. And there you go. I'm just going to leave this in here, just in case when we go out there. Insulation from weather and other types of damage, so we can put that duster on, and it shows right here temperature. It feels like, 68, 69, so you always got to keep an eye on your temperature. If anything's wrong, over there on the left side above your health bar and your energy bar, it'll let you know if there's something wrong, like if you're getting hungry, or you're thirsty, or you're thirsting to death, or you're starving to death, if you are infected, if you are, you broke your leg, or broke a bone, if you, are sick or whatever, like if you drank some dirty water without cooking it, you can get, I think it's dysentery is what they call it, and you have to take care of yourself or you will die from that. You have to, I don't know, I think it was like what, antibiotics or vitamins or something. I don't know, there's something you'll have to take to cure yourself. So don't drink dirty water. I mean, just some little stuff like that. Don't really have to worry about, just think before you do something, like most survival games. Eat raw meat, you can get sick from it and all that stuff. Or if you eat ham sandwiches, moldy bread, you can get sick from that. Sometimes it's a risk, you have to take. And we're going to put this sweatshirt on too, because it's a level 94, and our plant fiber shirt was a level 5. But I hope this helps y'all understand a little bit more about how the game works. If you are a little confused, feel free to ask me questions in the comment section below. And if you or if you want to watch some more videos of me playing 7 Days to Die and you want to learn more, I'm going to start doing a series of. And this is why, right here, I'm going to show you before we leave. This game is very weird on consoles. It's snowing outside, so I want to show you how hard it is to see things. We're going to go out here and I'm going to show you real quick. When it's coming down really hard, it's so hard to see, especially if you accidentally wander into a military field. Some military camps have landmines surrounding the outside of the base. So before you know it, before you can even spot its military base, bam! You can step on a landmine and you can blow yourself up and you can die. And this is one of the main reasons why I hate staying in the snow biome. Is it is so hard to see with the snow when it snow's coming and you see the snow on the inside of the house. The reason why is right here where these windows are at. This is not wood shingle roofs. And apparently, if I read this right on the internet, because I'm not a base builder, but if I understood correctly, these blocks right here are wood shingles, so that's why there's no snow right here. But since there's no wood shingle roofing right here, and then it will, be snowing in your house. It don't matter if that glass was not busted, if it was, full, if that was full glass, there's no holes in the glass, because it's not a wood shingle roof, the snow will still come into the house. So if you are a base builder, remember that you always have to have a wood shingle roof, and you cannot upgrade the wood shingle roof to anything else, because when you upgrade it, it will technically change it to a stronger block, right? And then once you change it, you're in trouble, because if it snows or rains, then it's going to come right on through your house. Don't ask me why, I have no idea, but that's just how the game works. And I'm going to explain real quick about how I lay out my tool belt down here. I'm sure you notice where my bow's at. I switched from this side of the tool belt to the other side where my club's at. The way I lay mine out, and everyone does theirs differently, and that's where I put my bandages, whether it's a first aid bandage or just a regular bandage. So if you are in combat and you're bleeding out, you can put a bandage on real quick and stop bleeding so you don't die. So I usually put the bow there, bandage here, torch here, put my axe here, shovel if I'm going to do some mining. I put my bone shift here, my wood frames here, and my melee weapon here. You might be wondering why I keep wood frames on me. Well, I'll show you. Sometimes you get in trouble out here in the real world, unless, like I say, if you're really good with your aim, you don't have to worry about this. But sometimes things go bad, and they get bad real quick. So what I'll do with wood frames is I will pull myself up on a building and just kind of sit here. Like what I'll end up doing, let's say for example, and this is a bad example just because obviously if they come up to the second floor, then they can just come right up the stairs and hit me, right? But if you're at a building where you don't have to worry about that, you can pull up your wood frames back into your inventory, and you can sit right here on the side of the building. And if you got a bow, you can just start shooting arrows at the enemy, or if you got guns, you can shoot at them, do all that stuff. You get what I'm saying. And then you are out of reach and you are safe, especially if you come across a bear or a dog and you're close to something like a building or something. You can just pull yourself up real quick, get yourself elevated above them, and you can just start shooting them until you kill them. And that is why I always keep wood frames in my inventory. And if you like this game, you want to see more, see how I think and how I approach things in play, feel free to subscribe and hit your notification bell to know when I go live. I'm going to be playing 7 Days to Die on this channel more often in the middle of playthroughs, so we can switch content up. But yeah, that's everything. I hope y'all enjoyed it and y'all learned something, take something out of it. So until next time, y'all take care, y'all stay safe, and y'all take it easy. See you in the next video. Bye, y'all.